Hey there. Today I'll be making a small plate with a decorated rim, and it's out of poplar. Looks interesting? Hang around, we'll get started. First thing I'm going to do is get the blank mounted between centers long enough to cut a recess. Close enough. Now that we got the face pretty well trued up and the side trued up, let me grab my small chuck and a set of calipers and I'll figure out how large I need to make the recess. Okay, I'm using a Talon chuck for this, the number 2 jaws, and I plan to do a recess of this. It's about the size of the recess I need, maybe just a little bit bigger. Not much, because I want it to conform to the shape of the chuck very closely. See, I had a little trouble getting in there so close. Hog a little bit of that out, leave some room for the chuck jaws. Should be good. Let me measure just to be sure. Okay. Good enough room. So now, I need to sculpt the underside of the bowl. And I'll probably do it like an OG, with it being about a third, and then the bottom. So a third swept, a third rounded, and a third at the bottom. Although I'll leave myself a little rim here to make kind of a foot. So let me try that and see what it looks like. do you think? Okay, that's it. Alright, that is the basic shape. I need to clean it up and get rid of some of these tool marks. Unfortunately, poplar is really prone to tear out, and I'm not the best turner, so let me get a round nose scraper and see what I can do with that. That or a negative rake, we'll see. A little bit more work right there. Maybe let me get a smaller radius scraper and see if I can get down in there just a little bit more. Otherwise, looking good. Hit that with a little bit of 120. Let's see what it looks like. I don't know if that's wood that needs to come off or fibers that have been burnished and crushed. More sanding there, but I think it's okay. I don't think I'm going to have to grab a scraper again. It's funny, your fingers can often feel what your eyes can't see. Good. Let me flip it around, put it in the chuck. I'll be right back. Okay, got it reversed in the chuck. Let's work on establishing the rim and thinning that down a bit. And first start off by kind of leveling the face a bit. I'm going to thin it down a bit, but not too much. I want to play with some texturing, and I want to leave enough meat left that if I really hate it, I can take it off. That's good enough to start. Let me go ahead and round over the corners of this rim before I get cut. Don't laugh. I've had it happen before. Sometimes you can get a really sharp rim on these things. Okay. Let me hit that with some 120. And I should be good to go to start playing with the texture. Good enough. I will cut the center of the bowl back a little bit just to give me some room to play. At it from above, that little lip is about where I want to start diving in. So pull it back just a little bit. Okay. I think what I want to do is just add a little bit of orange peel here, and I'll use a skew chisel to outline it. Let's drop back down to around 500 RPM. This is the big Sorby texturing inspiring tool, and I've got the texturing wheel. And this one just goes in straight, not left or right, slightly below center, and just walk it back and forth. Let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah. Probably can't see that very well on camera, but we do have a nice little bit of orange peel around the outside edge. Let me get a small skew, and I'll put in a couple lines to kind of help define it. There. Lowest point seems to be hollow out the center. Get into it. Oh, I think I got lucky. Okay. certain gouge that's got a slightly shallower angle. Get a negative break scraper and finish smoothing some of that out. I think the thickness is, I could go down a little bit more, but I'll take that out with the scraper. And yeah, I kind of messed up my 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, but oh well. Hopefully it'll still look decent when I finish. Do I leave that little lip? Or do I take it off? Doesn't seem to have any chips. Not really, well, it's kind of proportional to the edge. Leave it. I think 1 or 2 more passes and the bottom should be good. So for these finishing passes, you can see I'm getting really fine shavings because I'm tipping my scraper up at an angle. So I'm shear scraping. Still got a little tiny bump right there in the center. I think the rest I can sand out. Okay. You look like that's too different. Start from 50 away. Easy down. Little bit of end grain tear up there on both sides. Let me drop back a grit and grab the electric drill and see what I can do about that. This is 120. Getting there, but not quite there yet. Let me deepen that outer groove a bit. The bad thing about texturing is trying to get in here and sand without sanding your texture away. Probably should have sanded before I did the texture, but too little, too late. 320 for the bowl. Okay. Yeah, I think it'll come out nice. Let me go grab some Triple E and we'll get a finish on this. Bad. Let me trying to decide between Longworth and Coal Jaws. I'm not sure whether my Longworth will squeeze down that low. Let me figure that out. I'll be right back. Okay, so it would indeed fit on my smaller Longworth chuck. So what I'm going to do now is clean up the bottom. Scraper in there. And let me take a spindle gouge and ease that edge a bit. Make sure that the bottom is sitting slightly concave so it doesn't rock and show a gap. Just a little bit more. All right, time to start sanding. probably tell I really don't like sanding with a plate this small right next to the edge. I know I'm going to get my finger smacked. There you have it. Nice little plate. Shallow bowl. The wood is poplar, which I'm surprised at the chatoyance in this piece. It's got a lot more life than poplar usually does for me. Cool. Bonus. Yeah, I need to get a dental pick and get some of the sawdust out of some of these cracks, but otherwise, I think we're done. And there you have it. It's my little poplar bowl slash dish. Came out better than I expected from a piece of poplar. A lot more shy. Well, that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Please do me a favor and hit like, subscribe, and share the video if you want to see more like this. Thanks. Take care.